I'm Megan from Scituate Community Television. We're here at Lawson Tower on this beautiful day. What's your name?
Bob Chessier.
And can you tell us what you do for the Scituate Historical Society?
I'm a trustee for the Historical Society, and basically I'm the one that does everything pertaining to Lawson pretty much.
Okay.
So we have Lawson events on occasion. We've had open houses with Lawson houses that are still around, and we've got a big one planned in July. July 22nd we'll have a talk at the GAR Hall on Thomas Lawson, and then the 23rd we hope to have a trolley to take people around to houses and buildings that are still in Scituate, and we'll have an exhibit at the schoolhouse with stuff that people have never seen. Some of this stuff is unbelievable. I mean, when you look at the tower, who does this?
Right.
We have a screen that we got at Skinner Auction House that is stamped leather with gold and silver in it, and it's just unbelievable. And he had two of them. We got one of them at auction, and one of them is with my buddy in Florida. So yeah, it's kind of cool. We do a lot of stuff with Lawson. He was maybe not the most famous person in Scituate, but he's right up there.
That's incredible. How long have you been involved with the Historical Society?
Probably for maybe 10 or 15 years, but my parents were involved before me and my grandparents before that.
Okay.
So we go way back. My parents actually started collecting Lawson memorabilia, and that's what happened. It took off from there. So yeah, we've had Lawson grandchildren visit us.
Oh wow.
And grandson, Thomas Lawson McCall from Oregon, came out and visited my parents. He went to the manor house and he showed them where all the hidden spots were. You could pull mirrors back and there'd be a hiding spot, or where the kids would hide. It was pretty cool because the people that were there at the time didn't know they were there.
Wow. Wow.
It was very interesting, yeah. And he became the governor of Oregon, Thomas Lawson McCall, and we can thank him for the bottle bill, no flip tops, and even odd gas rationing when there was a gas crisis.
Oh.
So the Lawson family is around. It goes on pretty much. And the deeper you look, the more connections you find.
What kind of an impact do you think the legacy of Lawson Tower and the Lawson family has on Scituate?
Well, we have Lawson Tower and we have Lawson Park, which he had Olmsted landscapers. They landscaped it for him. And he donated the 3 elephants that are in the park, and he had elm trees all around the park, which are gone now. They've succumbed to Dutch elm disease, but that was a gift to the town, basically, and the tower. And many of his houses are still around. He had a large workforce. When he started, the population of Scituate was probably around 2,400 people. From 1901 to 1902, he hired 1,000 people to work to clear the land, 200 teams of horses, so that's like almost half the population of Scituate. So he did have a big impact, absolutely.
And what inspires you to work with the Historical Society?
I guess it's an interest in history that was passed down from my parents and grandparents. I wish that I paid more attention when I was younger, which I think every person that gets older says, because they had some great talks about Lawson and stuff that I've forgotten, unfortunately. But so sometimes you have to make it up, and hopefully it's true.
Yes, absolutely. So can you tell us a little bit about Lawson Tower itself?
Yes. When they moved into the manor house, which is across the way, there was a 75-foot black standpipe built by a water company. And Mrs. Lawson didn't like the looks of it. So she went to her husband and basically said, do something. So we approached the selectmen and asked if he could enclose it. They said yes. He had an architect that he sent to Europe. Started out in England and went as far as Constantinople. Found a castle on the Rhine River that he copied and built this within a year.
Wow.
With the 10 bells, and it was, I think it cost him $60,000 to build at the time. It cost us $800,000 to re-shingle it. So hopefully the shingles will last for a while. But yeah, it had a tank that held 276 gallons of water, open at the top. So when they finally took it down, they found debris in there, dead birds, which probably is why no one in Scituate ever gets bird flu, because we're all immune. But yeah, it was quite a project, and it was just to show how much money that he had. He was probably at one time one of the 10 wealthiest people in the country.
Wow.
And unfortunately, he didn't believe in saving. He believed in spending. So he would spend, and whatever he wanted to do, he would do. Yeah.
How how tall is the tower? How many steps are in it? Can you tell us some of the statistics about
The
it?
top of the tower is 153 feet.
Wow.
There's 121 wooden steps and 2 other steps, so it's 123 steps all the way up a spiral staircase that takes you to the bell room. Then there's 2 ladders that take you up to the clock room. The clock is only this big because all it has to do is run the chimes and the hour strike.
Okay.
But if you wind the clock, you have to go up all the stairs, up the 2 ladders, and then crank the weights that actually go to the ground to this level.
Oh.
So you have to crank the ones for the chimes and for the hour strike all the way up.
Wow.
So it's a good workout.
Yes.
He had an employee once that asked for a raise, and the reason he asked for a raise is he said, because all the girls are whistling at me. I have the best looking legs in town from going up the tower.
And how often do you guys set the clock?
It'll go for 8 days, but they wind it every 7. It's going to go off in 5 minutes.
All right, let's go find out.
Let's see how loud it is.
Ready? Ready? 3, 2, 1. That's so satisfying. So, can you tell me a little bit about where we are right now?
This is the clock room, and you need a clock to ring the chimes, and this was made by the Howard Clock Company of Boston. When we go to the other side, you'll see the size of the clock. It's teeny because you don't see it. But if you look, there's cables that go to pulleys in the ceiling, and if they go down below, those are the ones that either ring the hour or play the chimes.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's when you wind it up, to wind the clock only comes down to this floor. But the weights for the hour and the chimes go down to the ground.
Okay.
So you have quite a workout.
Has the clock ever broken throughout?
Oh yeah, we had it restored probably, I don't know, maybe 15 years ago.
Okay.
And it's run perfect since then. We have Stephen Litchfield that knows how to fix it if it's broken.
Okay.
He's a major clock guy.
All right.
So he's also winds it. They come up, they take turns. Someone gets a month, and you wind it once a week.
Okay.
So this is the weight just for the clock. So that's not very difficult to wind. It just goes that distance.
Okay.
But then if you look over, this is one that goes to the ground. You can just
Alright.
feel how tight it is with all the weights on it.
And you have to do that manually?
You have to, I'll show you, actually I could show you in here. This is our crank. So you would put it on, and then the instructions are outside. It tells you which way to crank. So you do 1, 2, and then over there for 3.
All right.
So yeah, it's a good workout.
So we are up here on top of Lawson Tower. Can you tell me your name?
James Nelson.
And you are from Scituate. How old are you?
I'm 13.
And you're at Gates?
Yeah, I'm in 7th grade.
So you guys decided to come up to the top of Lawson Tower.
Yeah.
Is this your first time up here?
No, I've been up here a couple other times.
Have you been all the way up to the top?
No, I've just been to the place down before, like
Yeah.
over there.
And what do you think about it?
It's really cool up here. I like how that window's open, so I can see my parents down there.
Oh, can you?
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
All right. Can you tell us a little bit about where we are now?
Right now, we are almost inside the tank. We're right outside the tank. When the tank was built and Lawson covered it, he had to keep the structure away from the tank. And every 15 feet, there's a landing. There'll be a ladder and a landing so you could work on the tank. It's all riveted, and it was starting to fall apart. It was actually starting to rust, so there was a thought that it may come down and take the tower with it. So we got the town to vote on the removal of the tank. We left 10 feet, and we're hoping to put some type of exhibit space in here if we can get it in. We've got CPC money that we'll look at an engineering, see if it could be engineered. But it's pretty cool when you look up and you can see all the structure. And it was, there was not a lot of machinery back then. They would pull up the pieces with pulleys. The tank was 75 feet. The top of the tower, the mast is 153 feet.